Here we are back in the shop, and today we're going to make a quick inquartation video. We'll answer questions like what you shouldn't inquart, what is perfect for inquartation, and what you really don't need to inquart. And what is inquartation even in the first place? Well, stick around and we'll answer all those questions and more. So here we have 3 items to work with. Now we have some gold filled. This is 1/20th gold filled material right here. It's not bad. It is nice. There is a decent amount of gold on here, but you don't really want to be working with these guys when you're inquarting your gold. There's a different process to get that gold out of those guys, and we will talk about that in a future video. Now you're also going to have your pretty pure gold nuggets. Now this guy, I don't know what gram or carat it's rocking. We just got it sent to us, so we will address this in a future video. We'll probably just go right to AR with this guy. It's probably going to drop out any other impurities out of it by doing just that, and we're going to have a lot less loss of this, so that guy is not going to be up for inquartation at the moment. But this right here, this is a beautiful specimen, and is a male's wedding band. It is 14 karat white gold, and it's rocking at about 58%, if I'm correct. 58% of gold inside of this guy. You can see the markings right there. It's 14 karat. It was cut off somebody's finger or something else. I have no idea. I don't know the backstory behind it. All I know is it's gold. It's testing out at 14K, and we're gonna get it. So let's go ahead and get into it. So now, how are we going to inquart this gold? How are we going to get this copper and this ring put together in a really good alloy? You got to make sure that this is mixed up really well when you guys melt it. If you have a small operation like I do, I suggest cutting the ring in half, cutting your copper in half, and doing it in 2 small batches. There we go. We got our nice, beautiful copper inquarted gold. Now we're going to get this stuff in a beaker. We use tap water to pour this stuff into, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to rinse this off with a little distilled water. We don't want any free chlorine interacting with the nitric from our tap water. So let's get this rinsed off, let it get put in a beaker, and let's get going. Now we have our nice inquarted gold down in the bottom of that beaker. We're going to go ahead, we're going to turn the fume hood on, because we're going to be making some nasty fumes you do not want to breathe in. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some nitric acid. Now you're going to want to add this nitric acid slowly. You don't want to have a boil over happen, and with that copper being exposed the way it is, there's quite a bit of surface area for that nitric to work with. Now we're going to start off with about 50 mils. We have about 100 mils of water in here, and we're going to start off with about 50 mils of nitric acid. That's going to give it a pretty good dilution. You're going to see a reaction start off right off the bat. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get it covered up, and we're going to let it cook for a little while, and let's see what happens. So here we are, it's been about a half an hour, and as you can see, the copper is going into solution nicely. Now we're going to end up letting this go overnight. Keep the fume hood running, keep them fumes down. You guys don't want to breathe them in. You can see that they're building up right now nicely. That shows that there is a reaction happening inside the vessel. Now when we see that done and there is no more fumes in there, we'll know we used up any available nitric. We'll pour that off and we'll continue on down the tracks. Alright, it's the next day and the acid has done run its course. That's right, you can see the fumes have dissipated and there's no longer a reaction inside the vessel. That gold looks a little dirty right now, but don't you worry about it. We're going to pour this off into a catch container and we're going to recharge the acid. Why are we going to save this solution? Well, for one, you just don't want to dump this stuff down the drain. Don't do it. You need to neutralize it first. But before you do that, there's going to be some silver in there. in about another half an hour. Now you can tell the difference between the two solutions. This one here is super saturated with the copper that we use to inquart. Now you can tell by the difference in color of solutions as well that we moved on to pulling silver. We're not done yet. Just because we pulled that copper out, we're now gonna have to pull the silver and all the other impurities that existed inside of that ring before we started this situation. So we're gonna continue to let that go down the tracks. We're gonna pull the silver out, and then we'll test that solution just to be sure that there's silver inside. So here we are, and we have a beautiful representation of that nugget. It's not up to 24 karat. It does have a little bit of a dimple, but I'm willing to bet when we break this down, we will clean up any impurities. It'll get pushed over into the melt dish with the borax. But if you guys wanted to bring this to as close to 24 karat sweetness as you can, you could take that gold before you melt it down, bring it to aqua regia, reprecipitate it, and you would get a far superior nugget. But for right now, our intent and purposes, we have this as clean as we would like it. Now we're going to weigh it. We wanted a 3.15 gram return. Now if we did everything right, we should get pretty close to it. We got 3 grams, you guys. That is not a bad return. It's a 0.15 off, and we did have a little pour off that did end up residing inside of our beaker. I don't know if you guys can see it down there or not, but that's just about where our 0.15 is. Now again, the purity isn't as pure as you could have got it, but for our purposes, that is a wonderful nugget. Now I tell you guys what, if you learned something new here today, don't forget to drop that follow. To my wife, I love you, and to my kids, go wash your face.